Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily portfolio review. As always, got to get the transparency update out for you all. And I've been trying to do this a little bit more consistently lately, and so far, I've been pretty consistent. So if you all do enjoy these videos, make sure to smash that like button. And so just checking out the portfolio for today, as you can see, we are currently at $109,937.80. And if we look at the normal market hours alone, just from 9:30 to 4 p.m., I'm currently at minus 2.21% for today, or minus $2,491.97. So that's actually a pretty big loss, around $2,500 for today. Definitely not anything to scoff at. But as always, that's just how the stock market goes. It's up and down movements constantly. Some days are better than others, but you just have to adapt that perspective and accept this is how the stock market goes. And for the after hours, so that's from 4 p.m. and on, that is at minus 0.15% for today. Now keep in mind, we're just a little bit into after hours right now. It's probably about 6:10, 6:15 right now, and we are at minus $169.33 for the day. And I'm honestly not too surprised about today's movements. If there's any day of the week where you can just generally make the assumption that there's a higher possibility of a red day, it would be a Friday for me. Just because you have that factor of that 2-day break between now and Monday. So as we know, a lot can happen in 2 days. You can get some really amazing news, or you can get some really negative news as well. So for the short-term people, the day traders, the swing traders, the option traders, lots of those people like to cash out of positions, whether it's at a loss or a gain, just because, like I said, there is a lot of risk over the weekends. But if you're a long-term investor like myself, then that's nothing to worry about. We're looking way farther into the future in the long term. So you just have to weather through the storm when it comes to the red days and when it comes to weekends as well. These factors are really only relevant to the short-term investors. Unless something has fundamentally changed about a company that you're investing in, there's really no reason to steer away from the course that you've been on up until this point. So just addressing the movements for today, as you can see, at 9 a.m. exactly, we were at minus 0.09%. That's minus $103.23. So just a tiny bit under the baseline at the beginning of this stock market day. And usually when you're at a point like this, whether it's above or below 0.09, when you have a starting day at that point, it can pretty much go in any direction. Just because it starts out negative doesn't mean it's going to end negative when it's that close to the baseline. So from 9 a.m. on up until the 9:30 a.m. marker, when the normal market hour started, we were at minus 0.05%, which is minus $59.13. And then from that point on, we had a little bit of a dip and then a bounce back upwards to this point at 9:50 a.m. at minus 0.30%. And then at that point, we had a little bit of movement where we bounced back down just slightly, and then it went down a little bit more once again with a slight bounce up and then a little bit of an incline up until this point at 10:55 a.m. at minus 0.47%. Now that point is minus $527, and from that point on, that was the highest point that we saw throughout the rest of the day. So it went on a little bit of a decline all the way down to this point at minus 12 p.m., and that's when we hit minus 1.8% for the portfolio. That's minus $2,021.99. Then it bounced back up ever so slightly until this point at 12:15, and then once again it started to decline a little bit, in which it started significantly declining after this 12:45 p.m. marker until we hit this point at 1:25 p.m. Now at 1:25 p.m. we were at minus 2.94% for the day. That's minus $3,309.18. Now at this point, that's much worse than where we ended off the day for the portfolio. So we had a rebound at this point up until 1:35 p.m. and then it dropped back down once again with a few bounces back up here and there, but the trend was downwards until we hit this point at 2:25 p.m. That is minus 3.67% for the portfolio. That's over $4,000 in losses at minus $4,133.78. And that was the lowest point out of this whole market day. And thankfully, we got a little bit of a rebound upwards after that point. So with a lot of the stocks that I own over here, it was pretty consistent across the board where we hit that low point, as you can see right there. We hit it there as well, and we hit it there with Tesla especially. But for all three of these stocks, it rebounded a little bit because people did take advantage of this sell point in which people started buying a little bit more. So there were more people buying than selling. So we bounced back up after 2:25 p.m. up until this point at 3:05. then it bounced back down with some more volatility until we hit this point at 350. That's 10 minutes before the normal market hours close. That's minus 2.08% or minus $2,336. And then after that, it dropped back down just slightly and then bounced back up as it went into the aftermarket hours. And it has been pretty much steady since then with a slight decline after this 5:10 p.m. marker. But not too bad for the after hours. Regardless of whether it's in the losses or gains, we don't really see significant moves in the after hours unless some crazy news has been released, whether it's about Rona vaccine trials or something like that. A news piece like that could drive up the after hours movements significantly, but those are on very rare occasions that you see significant moves in the after hours. And so also, now that we've addressed the portfolio movements for today, let's go ahead and check out this free stock. And this is thanks to Miguel signing up with my referral link to Robinhood. So if you're watching, Miguel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I hope you get an amazing stock. I hope you get something crazy like Apple or Microsoft. So thank you so much for signing up with my referral link. And by the way, for those of you out there that are just thinking about beginning investing, feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull. Those are some great platforms. I'm using Robinhood right now. So if you'd like to sign up to those platforms, feel free to use my referral link. But let's go ahead and check out what we get for the free stock. I'm just going to pick this one. I feel like it's predetermined anyways. Let's see what we get. 565 OPKO. Oh, this is actually kind of funny. For those of you that don't know, I had OPKO in my portfolio for like probably 20-30 days now, and I had to sell it because for some reason my cash balance for Robinhood was saying like minus $9.99. And part of that was from Robinhood Gold. I got charged for Robinhood Gold $5 per month. That's what it cost. And I kind of like Robinhood Gold just because it's helpful with these videos. So I do purchase that. So the minus $5 made sense. So I didn't know why I was at like minus $9.99 for the buying power. And so I had to sell OPK just to get that $10 in my cash account. That way I wouldn't get margin called or anything like that. So that's the only reason that I sold OPK the other day, just to balance out that negative number. And then after I sold those two and got the $10, it was saying like plus $5. So I don't know why it had that extra minus $5 in there. The minus $5 made sense, but the minus 10 didn't, because I don't know where that extra minus 5 came from. But now I have OPK back in the portfolio. May keep it there out of curiosity. And then we also have this AM share as well. But just addressing some movements today with the stock portfolio, as I said earlier, about everything in my portfolio was negative except for this AM free stock. This is the one holding it down for me right now with some green. At least that's nice to see. And also, before I get into that, I almost forgot, for VOO, we are at plus 0.02% for today. So just a slight movement in the green for VOO. And then Nasdaq is surprisingly up significantly at plus 1.66%. And it's always interesting for me to see Nasdaq up in the green when the majority of tech stocks are in the red. So that's a little bit strange to see Nasdaq doing well, but like tech stocks and e-commerce stocks like Amazon and Adobe, Shopify, Nvidia, and all of those not performing very well. But anyways, addressing the losses for today, first up we have Tesla stock. We are currently at minus 2.75% for today. That's minus $1,411.82. So this is where we saw a lot of the decline in the portfolio today. This is where a lot of it came from because, as many of you know, Tesla is one of my biggest positions in my portfolio at 45.32%. And then for the total return, we are at plus 70.92%. That's plus $20,682.55. So Tesla stock did take a dip today. Could we see it go below 1,400? I honestly think it is a possibility. It's really hard to predict where this stock could go in the future because, for one thing, a lot of people never thought that they would see Tesla go all the way down to this like $361 marker again, because that was something that seemed like pretty far off from people's expectations when this stock price was at $900. But if you really look at this, we've seen a lot more consistency around this $1,500, $1,400, $1,600 price tag compared to the history of Tesla. Because if we look at the history of Tesla, $750, $800, that's been the sweet spot. But we have a wider range of time around this $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 price tag compared to this $750 to $950 price tag, it feels like. Actually, if we include like $750 to $950, it's actually a pretty similar distance with these two right now, but it does seem like we've been in this price range a little bit longer than what we've seen with right here. And even back in April, we did have a pretty long time where we were in a similar price range, but eventually it slowly inclined, then it skyrocketed way up here. So I am a little bit curious where this stock could go in the future. It's honestly one of those things that is almost unpredictable. But in the long term, I think Tesla is going to make investors a lot of money. And I truly do think that. Obviously, I own this stock, but I own this because I have a lot of faith in it in the long term. And I'm not worried about these short-term gains. If this stock hit $2,000 by Monday or even $2,500 by Tuesday, I would not sell it just because I'm not thinking about the short-term gains. Those don't matter to me. And so the long-term perspective on Tesla is very important in my opinion. But honestly, if I'm just totally guessing, I feel like we could see this stock price go under $1,400. Now, don't take what I say as like the word written in the stone. This is not like just the pure truth right here. This is just totally a prediction by me. So keep in mind, none of what I say is to be considered financial advice, but we could see it happen. But then again, we could also not see it happen. But what I'm saying here is that I wouldn't be surprised if it did dip under $1,400. That's not something where I would just totally start panicking and be like, oh my gosh, I never expected it to drop this low. So we could see it go under $1,400, but if this is going to happen, I believe it's only going to happen within the next few weeks or so, because after Battery Investor Day hits and as we get near that date, then I think this stock price is going to start inclining slowly. Maybe like we saw slowly right in here from like April all the way up to May 26th. So like this slow incline right here. Just a small, delicate incline that you can appreciate. So I think that could be likely as we start getting near Battery Day. But in the next few weeks or so as well, before we get to that September month, we could see this stock go under $1,400. But I really do think this sweet spot is 14 to 15 right now. Next up, we have Microsoft stock. This is another one that has seen a lot of movements recently with a lot of volatility as well. If you look at the past week, we've seen a lot of progress be erased just because of so much volatility. The past month is a little bit similar as well. We're actually negative for the past month. That's kind of hard to look at it and sit there and think about it, because it's like, man, you look at it and think about it, 30 days straight of a lot of movements, but really no concrete gains or losses. Nothing significant really happened out of this. But like I say, you have to focus on weathering the storm for the long term. This doesn't change my perspective at all. So just addressing today, we are at minus 1.86% for Microsoft. That's minus $785.85. And then for the total return, we are at plus 23.88%. That is plus $7,981.68. And then finally, we have Apple stock, the big mover recently. Even over the past week with the most recent dip today, this stock is still up 2.9%. And for the past month, it's up 17.28%. So for today's return, we're at minus 1.98%. That's minus $378.42. And then for the total return, we are at plus 55.89%. That is plus $6,712.68. So anyways, just wanted to share my gains and losses for today and also go in depth a little bit with Tesla stock. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button. And also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. Like I said earlier, if you sign up with my referral link, then you can get some free stocks. But I hope you all enjoyed this video and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.